Ow, ow, son of a gun. I sliced my finger pretty good there doing something. You're probably wondering, why am I sitting here at my kitchen counter with a first aid pouch in front of me? The other day I was fishing and I caught a bass, and I'm probably going to insert that video at the end of this little presentation here so you can watch me actually use this first aid kit in real time and why it's important that you have one with you. But I always have carried one of these with me in my backpacks and my fishing kayak in the black pack. I've got just little ones that I've made up just out of the cabinet that I've got here at home. And the reason I do that, and it's something that I'm going to encourage you guys to do as well, is because you just never know when you're going to need it. You may never need it while you're out there, but it's nice to have it. It's that whole better to have it and not need it than to need it and not have it, right? You might run into somebody else out on the water that's in need of something, and it's kind of nice to be able to help somebody else out too. So basically what I did is these little pouches that I got, these little zippered pouches, I got them on Amazon. And I'm just going to kind of take the stuff that's in here out and kind of show you. So the first thing I throw in there is a tube of chapstick. Not a big thing in the summertime, but when it's colder out or cooler out and you get chapped lips, it's kind of nice to have some of that with you. You can also use that for ointment and that sort of thing if you need to. The other thing I carry is a few fire starters and a lighter. I've never used those, but I have been on little trips where at the end people are like, hey, you want to grab a beer afterwards and grill some food or sit around a campfire or whatever, and it's kind of nice to have something that you can, a little fire starter and a lighter that you can start a fire with. The other day this came into play for me. It's called Rapid Seal. It's something that stops bleeding. Like I said, I'm going to show that here. I'm going to probably insert that towards the end so you can watch how I use this little kit. Caught a bass. I'm not quite sure how I did it, but I really hacked into my knuckle. I think what happened is when the fish flipped, the buzz bait blade actually hit my finger and cut it open. And so I was bleeding pretty good. The other thing I carry is some finger cots. Those are, for lack of better terms, a little condom for your fingers. Those are just something if you're bleeding heavier and you want to wrap gauze around and then run that finger cot over the top of your finger, it'll hold the gauze in place. Some Band-Aids, just different various sizes. I carry some knuckle Band-Aids, some fingertip Band-Aids. If you've ever driven a hook into your finger, or like the other day when I banged my knuckle, I like to have those, and then just some general ones also. There's some alcohol prep pads in there as well. The other thing to stop some bleeding, I've got a couple of small 2x2 compresses and some 3x3 compresses. And then I've also got some Steri-Strips. Those are if I really cut myself and need to close a wound, I can do that. Probably the next most important thing, if you've ever been out on the water, starting to get a headache, you're starting to feel dehydrated, I carry some form of electrolyte powder that I can mix with a bottle of water if I don't have a Gatorade or something like that. Iowa has an Iowa company that makes Squincher. It's a powder that you can just carry. They're little tubes. You can throw them in a bottle of water. One of the other things I carry in the bow of my kayak is I've got a Sawyer water filter, so I can dip water right out of the lake and have drinkable water if I run out. So another idea. Take a little Ziploc pouch. I got these at Walgreens. It's just a pill pouch. And put 5 or 6 ibuprofen, 5 or 6 Tylenol, and then I've got a couple of Aleve in there. If I start really getting a headache or feeling bad, backache, sometimes you're out there for a while and you start hurting. Maybe you're putting your boat in the water and you torque your back a little bit, and you need some ibuprofen to get yourself through. And then the other thing I throw in here is a little bit of Imodium, and it's an anti-diarrheal. If you've ever eaten something that didn't agree with you and then gotten out on the water, or you're about to get on the water and you decide, hey, I'm going to use the restroom before I go out, and you realize, oof, my gut's not doing too good. It's kind of nice to have something right there. You can take a couple of those, and one of the things I don't have in here because it's not first aid, dude wipes, something like that. If you have to get out of the boat on the bank for an emergency situation, you've got that stuff too. But that's the stuff that I carry. And like I said, I'll follow up. I'll put the other video in here for a follow-up of me actually using the Band-Aids and the Rapid Seal to let you know it's not something that you have all the time or need all the time, but it's nice when you have it. So all of this stuff, basically, it just, you don't have to put it in here in any certain order. It all just fits inside this little pouch. And then, like I said, I throw mine in my crate, my backpack, in the top, and it just stays there. I've got several of these little bags that I made up. I think you can get these little pouches on Amazon pretty cheap. You put several of them together. I got one in my hunting backpack. I've got one in my truck. My wife's got one in her car, and then I've got one in the the black pack of my kayak. They're just kind of a nice deal. Also a good gift idea if you're looking for something to give somebody who you don't know what to get them. Put together a little first aid kit and toss it to them. They probably appreciate it. So that's it. Following up is the use of this thing and why it was important. So hopefully that makes sense. And if you guys would like and subscribe, just hit the like button. I don't care if you subscribe. I know there's a lot of people that watch videos that never subscribe, but just hit that like button. That helps me out. I would appreciate it. And until then, we'll see you next time on the water, hopefully. He's got the hook in his bottom lip where I want to grab. Okay. Yeah, boy, these fish today are feisty. Like it's hard to hang on to them. They get to flipping, and it's just a all right. Ow, ow, son of a gun. I sliced my finger pretty good there doing something. And I may have to do some first aid here on my knuckle because I am bleeding pretty good. That is not him, that is me. Water for a second. Okay. Man, I don't know that Mississippi backwater is the best rinse for a cut on your finger. I'm sure it's not. But let me do this first. I've got a first aid kit. This is probably something I should go over. The other thing I've got in here, I've got some of this Rapid Seal, and it's a salve that's supposed to stop the bleeding. I've also got some alcohol prep pads in here. I'm not going to use one of those, but I do have a knuckle bandage. I don't know how well this is going to stick because it's humid and I got blood all over everything. My goodness. Putting my blood, sweat, and tears into it, folks. Well, I haven't cried yet, so maybe we'll get that on video if I cry. If something happens, makes me cry.